Hi, my name is Milan Harrison. I'm with Little Big Chats, and today I'll be interviewing Mike Carrel at the 2025 National Conference.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, are you ready for the questions?
I am ready.
Okay, what role has mentorship played in your personal life and professional development?
Great question. I'm gonna start with on the personal life. I was fortunate with my mom and dad were both great mentors to me, and most people don't think of that. They always say, "Oh, your mom and your dad," but really, they were the people that I, even to this day, still go to for pretty much all advice around how to be a good human being. Like when we walked into my house, if you walk in when I was a kid, you'd see a sign and it said, "It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice." And it's really an anchoring. And if you really kind of think deeply about that, about just being a nice human being on a regular basis, and they really kind of embedded that into us in almost everything we did. So I would go to them with advice, whether it was when I was younger and in sports and had disappointments and people to kind of lean on, to anytime I was trying to make a career change or college choice, they were my go-to people in my life and have continued to be even to this day. And so I'd say on a personal level, it's been my mom and dad who have really kind of given me that guidepost to just be a good human being and give back to society. And what I like to say is I call these things the 4 F's, an H, and a C that my parents taught me. And those 4 F's are family. So, at any point in time, you're going to kind of give and get one of these. So your family, your friends, have fun, and firm. So firm is like your work. So
Okay.
your priorities are going to kind of balance between those 4 F's. And the H and the C are don't forget about taking care of yourself with your health and don't forget to give back to your community. And the 4 F's and H and a C, I kind of live my life that way. And now, every once in a while, you're out of balance with one of them. But to me, that's what mentorship is. They give you kind of little pieces like that to kind of remember and to remind yourself when you're going through tough times and good times, maybe when you're over indexed on one of those or the other. And I say that that has been kind of some of the guiding principles on a personal level in my life. Mentorship on a professional level, I've had a lot of great mentors. I'm a believer that Big Brothers brings kind of a mentor to you, and that's kind of one, but you're going to have many mentors throughout your life. And you're always going to be kind of looking for people for different advice. I can remember, I've got several board members, but one of my board members, a gentleman by the name of Sven Wehrwein, has been on my board and every board of a company that I've been on for the last 25 years. And he's just one of those people that I can go talk to him about the most difficult problems. And I can present to him, hey, I'd like your advice on this. And he will give me unvarnished advice. He'll give me unvarnished feedback relative to that. And I think that's the sign of a great mentor, somebody that you can have a relationship and be super open with. Sven is one of those people who's on my board now at a company called ArtriCure. And again, I've been friends, and he's been a mentor of mine for many, many moons. So that's kind of a couple of examples of some mentors I've had in my life.
Yeah, I actually really like that saying that you mentioned. That's actually probably going to stick with me now because I've never heard that.
There you
I've
go.
never heard of something like that. So that's interesting. Okay, what is one piece of advice you would like to share with all littles out there?
I saw the question in advance, and I'd say the most important thing I think is to be curious. And really be out there trying to learn everything you possibly can about things at all times. I think being curious is such a great trait in humans to further themselves, to quite frankly have a life that's rewarding. And it's just like we were talking about before when we kind of got on the camera. We were talking about kind of where you came from and the kinds of things that you were doing with your big, so that I could learn for myself about maybe some things that we could do with our littles with my wife. And so those are the kinds of things that I think being curious actually makes a huge difference in a little's life. So if I could give one bit of advice, I'd say be curious. Now, the second bit, because you didn't ask for a second, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. And this is what I tell people who join our company, or when we're interviewing people and we're looking for people. You'll hear I talk about these little quips: be hungry, be humble, and be smart. What do I mean by that? Be hungry to make a difference. So when you and be curious, like I mentioned before, you want to get up every day, you want to love your work, but be hungry about it. Be the first to the office. Be the one that really is hungry to be a part of what you're doing. Love what you're doing on that front. You see it when you see people like artists on stage, or you saw Adam Grant yesterday, and these speakers, or the mayor of Philadelphia, who was just amazing, right? You could tell she's hungry to make Philadelphia a great city. right? And you can tell that she lives it no matter who she's talking to and who she's talking about. She's really kind of pushing that. Be humble. I mean, we all are servants to somebody at some point in time. And I think that you've got to recognize the fact that we're all human beings in this world. We're all in this together, the 7 billion of us that are around here. Recognize that those 7 billion, though, represent a even small speck in the lifespan of this earth, both going backwards and going forwards. And I think just be humble and recognize that we're kind of blessed to be on this earth for the however long we are blessed to be on the earth for, and really kind of have gratitude in that front. And be smart, meaning that be thoughtful about how you approach your life. Don't just kind of just wing it. I don't think you should wing things. I think you should actually be planful and think through things. And so if I were giving advice to a little, I think those are some of the things that I try to give advice to them about.
Like that you mentioned, be curious. I had like a teacher when I was younger, and she would also tell me like ask questions if you don't know. She would also say like
Absolutely.
she was like it's okay to ask questions. I feel like certain people, they don't want to, like if they're confused, they rather, they feel like it's more embarrassing to ask than and just stay confused and rather ask. So I like to mention that I like the fact that you mentioned, be curious, ask questions, and
It's how you
put
learn. I
yourself
mean,
out there.
the way you
Yeah,
learn and the way you grow is by being a curious human being. So,
yeah,
and
I
I think it opens up
definitely
so many
agree.
doors that you can't imagine until you start asking those questions.
Okay, so for our last question, why should people get involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters on a local or national level?
This one's easy because you can make a difference in somebody's life, and even a small difference. And I remember the saying we had one. I don't know if it was last year, or the year before, where we was it takes little to be big, and I think that has stuck with me so much since I've been here. It takes little to have a small impact or a big impact, excuse me, on a person's life. And I'd say by just giving a little bit of your time, the most precious and important thing that we have, to somebody else and getting involved in that way is just an amazing impact you're going to have on not only that person's life, but also on society in general. By giving back in that way, sharing your knowledge and your advice and your time, I think is something that is invaluable and makes society great. And I'd say for people that want to give back, this is one of the best ways to give back. And it doesn't take a lot to have a really big impact.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, thank you for your feedback, and that's all the questions I have.
Well, thank you, Milan. I appreciate it, and appreciate you coming out and doing this. You're awesome.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mike Carrel, for your time today. Again, my name is Milan Harrison, and today I am with Little Big Chats.